Hello everyone, my name is Destra, and this is Imperial Splendour. Welcome back, and we are now at the point where I think I'm able to go to war with Denmark and Russia at the same time. So, what has happened? Well, basically I've just built up several aspects of my economy, so that is better, because of course with every new thing I added to either my fleet or my army, it took a massive bit of upkeep to actually keep in play. So I did that, but I also managed, as I said, to recruit more stuff. So I now have a bunch of 6th rates, but I also managed to get that guy right there, a 5th rate, and more importantly, a 4th rate. So now I think I have a competent navy, and it should be able to defeat the Danish navy. Keyword is should. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's able to do so. And do keep in mind that naval battles in Napoleon Total War, well, Empire Total War, and also Napoleon Total War, but it's really difficult if it's coded correctly. Like for example in, well, modded correctly, I guess. In Darth mode, it's extremely difficult to win. Well, it's not difficult to win if you, of course, have the odds on your side, but a battle you would have won easily in the vanilla game, you more often than not have massive problems with when you actually play it with Darth mode. And I did try the naval battle aspects of Imperial Splendour, and it should be comparable. At least I found it to be comparable. But that's not going to be the focus of this episode. The focus of this episode is going to be on attacking Norway. Well, Denmark, Norway, but in first line, Norway. So let's go ahead, declare war, and Russia will come to their aid. And that was why I was adamant about having my armies be ready and prepared in order to defend the territories I had from the Russians, and not shift them around to the Danish front and have them be deployed there. Also, I did a little bit of a test run, so I kind of cheated here, but that was just to test out the impact the artillery would have on the best artillery map in the game. So what happened? Well, it appears that Imperial Splendour decides to be a bit different. So, where we in the vanilla game and in Darth mode have the absolutely perfect artillery map, you couldn't really ask for better. Well, in Imperial Splendour, they decided, well, they're not gonna do that. So that's annoying. That's very, very annoying. But at least I know what I should do in order to win this battle, because this will be a very, very close battle. I did manage to win. I should go ahead and spoil it right away. I did manage to win in my test run, but it was definitely on the edge there, and I'm not completely certain that I would have managed to win if I tried it another time. And this is me trying it another time, so this will be interesting. Also, you have to be really careful with artillery here, because of the low firing arc, so you can't really put your units up in front, but you actually knew that if you have been paying attention to me playing this. Anyway, what I did last time, and actually worked out okay I guess, was to have this artillery battery standing back here. I can't really do that much different because it's stationary, and have these guys be dragged up because of the lower range. They are going to deploy actually kind of at the edge of my range. Then push these guys up in the center, and then push these guys up on the west, and have these guys go through the forest. So there's the battle plan, and it's as simple as that really. So let's get going. There we go. let's make this arc a bit wider, so we don't get hit by our own artillery. That also happened a lot, by the way. Oh, I already lost the gun here. That's not good. Yeah, but that happened a lot. Me shooting my own men in the back. Yeah, the artillery is not really a precision weapon, as you should have gathered by now. Actually, nothing in this era is really a precision weapon. It's all relative, I guess. And yeah, these guys are really protected against the artillery, unfortunately. Unless they aim like here. Actually, I should try to have them aim here, because they seem to be aiming to the left of the unit, and that's not hitting anything. Also, the enemy has mortars. That's what's landing over there. And here comes the Danish infantry. And we'll rush in with our guard units. This is exactly what happened the last time I played, by the way. Oh, and here comes the general. Well, it did this in test run as well, actually. Like, needlessly throwing his units away. But it was actually on this flank, so I guess that's different. So, they are probably gonna be able to kill... Well, they're probably going to be able to get like 4 volleys off. Or maybe 3. But unfortunately, they are all going to be point blank, which is, of course, not that fun. Oh wow. You are not being hit at all. Well, that's a bit different. But no time to dwell on that. We have to advance. We can't leave these guys without support, even though they are guard units. They're not invulnerable to morale shocks, shockingly enough. Yeah, these guys need to actually push up just a bit further. And there we go, finally. They're within shooting range. And here comes the hussars. And they're going straight for my militia. That's an interesting choice. Well, as I said, we need to push forward. Nice, we did a lot of morale damage to those guys. They are under artillery fire, and they were under musket fire, and also they were being charged. I guess that broke them all together. It's a bit unfortunate that these guys had to go. But they are still very much still alive and kicking. This is line infantry, by the way. Regular line infantry, and that's why they're not falling over, like the militia units are, and the armed citizenry. There we go. These guys, on the other hand, they are not the best. Also, the hussars are routing. So I can push up with my militia. Okay, you guys, I don't know if I want to have you firing right now. I think I would actually do a lot of friendly fire. More than I would like to have. There we go, those broke. They actually completely shattered. These guys are only routing. But hopefully they won't return. That left their artillery pieces wide open. And I seem to have instigated the mass rounds. There we go, run my dudes into this artillery blob right here, so you can take them out all at once, and that should better our chances quite a lot in the balance of power. Hey guys, where are you going? What are you running from? Oh there. It's not going to get good. And they are pretty much all routing. So, actually, this was a lot simpler than the last time I played, and I guess it has something to do with the fact that I tested it to see, basically to test the range of the artillery, and then it turned into me trying to fight this battle, which I thought I was going to lose originally. And also those are shattered, so I don't have to worry about them. I saw this on the map and thinking, well, are they going to be able to reach my artillery or something? No, they're not going to be able to reach my artillery. So that battle ended. And yeah, as I said, it was a bit simpler, but it still managed to get the same results. And that was that 2,000 men was lost because this was the entire garrison, so therefore they all die. And I only lost 315. I think I lost like 600, maybe 700 last time I played. Anyway, the important thing, at least for me, is that we have now captured Norway, and we have the entire Scandinavian peninsula under control. And here's the Danish Navy, at least part of it, and there's a lot of Sixth Trade there, but they have been at war. Sorry, they are significantly damaged. So that's a plus. Yeah. They shouldn't be able to invade me, so hopefully that will give me enough time to get Norway under control, but it's almost under control already. But get them under control, replenish this army, all that we can of it, and have them go towards Copenhagen. Also, on the other side of the Swedish Empire, the Russians are of course a concern again. But I prepared for that, and this is our main army, and we are about to capture the Russian Crimea. We should be able to do so, but we will be facing heavy resistance from a lot of cavalry and actually quite a lot of artillery. They do like the 4-pounders, don't they? And their cavalry. So, what other forces do I have? Well, I have a garrisoning force, and right now that's all there's supposed to be, of Moscow. I, of course, want to have an army which are able to push forward and capture territories like this and this, even though this might be a job for these guys. But right now, they have to be just standing here in garrison. Yeah, I don't have enough men to confidently push forward. Also, we have a garrison right here. It originally served the purpose of just keeping this province under control, But right now it's also a good thing just to keep the region under my control. Also, we have a rake which we haven't moved. Let's send him down here. Why don't we? But yeah, that is going to be achieved next turn. I don't know what the Danish will do. Hopefully, for entertainment purposes, they will go ahead and attack my navy. Other than that, they can't really do that much else. Oh yeah, by the way, if you take a look at diplomatic relations and you go to Denmark, you can see that they're also at war with Poland and Lithuania. They're all allies. So that's a bit weird. But I guess the alliance really turned sour there. But yeah. With all that, and with no money left, we should be ready to go ahead to the next turn. Just one thing very quickly. Lots of income from getting Norway. I think it was well over 1,000. So, yay for that. And we also have a few damaged buildings. Well, this is actually not damaged. Never mind then. Also, you turn Stavanger into a pleasure garden. I was intending to make that a university. Might have to do that, but not in time of war. I think our resources are best spent elsewhere. So Denmark, what is your answer? And Russia, what do you answer with? Nothing directly. Not right now anyway. And I was going to say, I think the Danish turned past, but it didn't. Okay, so this is my only 5th rate having the opportunity to raid. Well, not raid, but intercept. I was thinking these guys are probably going to raid. But they are not supported by my main fleet, so I say nay. Also, this is a great chance to take a look at the Danish fleet. The fixed Danish fleet. Well, the fixed part of the Danish fleet. And yeah, this is a lot of 6th rates. I think their navy is actually superior to mine, and I can't really see how they can afford all of this. Because of this province, it's a rich province, but it's still one province, and they have Iceland, but that's not really that valuable, I think. Anyway, they also have a damaged 6th rate and a break. Also, in the last part I mentioned that the Swedish Navy has a vessel in it which is called the Danish Eagle, and apparently the Danish Navy has a vessel which is called the Swedish Sophia. Yeah, so there's that. Anyway, all that comes down to that we will not be intercepting that, even though I think it's needed. Or maybe not, we are actually getting a lot of income. Which will allow us to replenish this badly damaged army. And that was actually all we could afford. Pretty much. Yeah, it's very, very expensive to run an army in this mod. Also, let's take a look at this. So the resistance to foreign occupation, it's not that high. Actually, if we go ahead and do this, there we go. That is actually keeping them under control, and the income I get from that, it's well, it's a decent income, but I think I can actually make do without. Also, you now have your navy completely exposed. This might be my chance to take out the majority of the Danish navy. And it's also a good chance for me to be able to attack Denmark. Well, actually it won't be, because apparently these guys are stopping my guys from attacking. So I guess that's another good argument for taking them out. At least trying to. I think they might be able to actually defeat me, but we'll find out. Anyway, our general gained the exploring officer trait, so I got 5 plus campaign movement range. I guess he walked for a certain amount of steps, so he gained that trait because he got that actually mid-turn like that. I haven't seen that. Well, I've probably seen that, but I haven't noticed it before now. Anyway, before we attack the Danish navy, I think we need to defeat the Russians. Okay, speaking of the Russians, they are out in the open here. So they might go for Kiev. That's of course a concern. Yeah, the garrison's not really that strong. Yeah, I won't risk it. Let's try to take these guys out. And apparently I have a little bit of an advantage. I would argue that I have quite a lot of an advantage, but I guess we'll go into the battlefield and prove the battle rating wrong. Yeah, I should be having a lot more power than that. I guess the artillery really pushes the balance of power. So I think that's where the majority of it comes from. Quite a lovely looking battlefield, actually. So we have a lot of cavalry, we should be able to catch up with theirs. They have a bit of ranged cavalry, which is a bit worrying, but it should be defeatable. Yeah, I think this is actually the best place to put it. I can't really see any better places, because this is not working. All of this is low ground, so that's not a good place. This is kind of on the ridge, but still very much out of, well, that makes the units out of line of sight. So that's not something you want to have. Pretty much the same over here. So yeah, I think that is actually the only sensible place to have it. Also, we need a few units to guard the artillery. So just run forward and make a square if it's needed. We'll have the cavalry over here, and the rest of the infantry can advance. And the general can stand here and look fabulous. That's his duty. So, that's the deployment. Let's start the battle. So actually that was a good prediction of where the cavalry was going to deploy. The majority of the cavalry, that is. And the 4-pounders, they're out of range of the culverins. So that's a very good thing for me. Also, the ridge I talked about makes it so that the artillery can't fire at my guys even though they're standing here, for example. They can't actually hit them. So that's very good. These guys, on the other hand, they might be able to actually hit them. Or maybe not. They blasted into the hill and bounced somewhere over here. There. And somewhere else. You almost managed to hit them. Congrats. No damage, of course, from my volley. So yeah, this definitely was the place to put my artillery. And they are still shooting into this side of the hill. So I have 3 units of cavalry against the enemy. I think it's actually 4 units of cavalry. And what are you doing? Well, unfortunately, you're not being shot at. That has been very nice. But I think the AI actually knows better than that. Also, look how close my men are, and still being out of reach from the artillery. They're almost within musket range. That really shows you. So yeah, I'm gonna silence my guns and then push my guys into the enemy artillery. That's gonna of course do a lot of damage to my own infantry. But I guess that's something we have to take in order to defeat my enemy. There we go. 6 men killed with 1 cannonball, it looked like. And the cavalry slams into the other cavalry, and the battle is underway. There we go. They have already killed the enemy general, and a lot of the regiments are wavering. And they actually completely shattered all of them instantly. Wow. That was a lot quicker than even I anticipated it being. Well, I told you it was going to be one-sided, but I didn't anticipate how one-sided it was going to be. Anyway, all we need to do now is to make sure that none of the line infantry actually fires out of fear of friendly fire. That would have been very, very bad. Also, these guys are down to 25 men, so hopefully they won't return. These guys, 30 something, 34 and 20, so hopefully that will be enough. And actually all that remains at this point, which is within range, that is these artillerymen right here, and they shouldn't be returning. So I don't think I completely destroy this unit, well, this little army right here, but it's definitely not gonna be able to capture Kiev, I think. So that should make this army safe for invasion of Crimea. So there we go, a close victory. I would really argue that that was a decisive victory. Well, I guess we lost quite a lot of men as well, but we definitely killed off a lot of the Russian army. Yeah, it should also be mentioned that they pushed into Moldavia, or Moldavia, I guess, and captured that from the Ottomans. I think that was Ottoman, at least. So, by taking this, I haven't really, like, captured the front, or whatever you want to call it. I haven't, like, completely annihilated the Russian south, meaning that I could focus everything on my, like, eastern front. There's still one more province left to worry about. Anyway, we'll have to worry about that thing in the next part. So, hopefully you enjoyed this part, the 2 battles you got, and hopefully you'll join me in the next part, where we will fight a naval battle, which will be very interesting in this mod. So yeah, I hope you liked this video. Like if you did, comment on this video what you thought about it, and subscribe to me if you're not already. So that's it for now. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.